Hello and welcome back to the B.B.M.1930s. My name is Alex, and in this video I will essentially reveal all I have built so far in a layout visit. Before doing so, let's browse through a few pictures of the location before it became a layout room. Enjoy and thanks for watching. So this is the home of the B.B.M. layout in Germany, in Upper Bavaria. The old farmhouse is about 100 years old and is quite large. Nobody cared about the attic for all these years until I joined my girlfriend. The attic had no roof lights, of course, but there was no floor neither. There was just the top side of the ceiling of the old apartment for the servants on the second floor, when a baron used to live here until the mid of the 70s. To access the hayloft on top of the barn, before World War II there was a ramp to the second floor and a tack room for the work horses on that level. We could still find some old tack and workhorse accessories there when we started modernizing. The remaining space was used as a storage room. So basically the second floor and the attic were one huge area with no heating and no windows. So first step was to break out a big opening in the gable wall and place a wooden floor for the future layout attic. To get some daylight and ventilate the room, roof lights were installed. And then the roof was insulated with multiple layers of rock wool, with really a lot of rock wool. It was finished with laser aligned drywall because the roof area was very uneven and crooked. All the work was done by our professional friends Thomas and Marco. Thank you guys for this excellent job. The upper belts of the wooden main cross beams of the roof construction were in the way and would have raised the attic floor. Therefore we replaced them with very sturdy steel profiles running lower across the space. One upper belt was replaced completely. The second one you see here was replaced just in the area the aisle will be. Our neighbor and carpenter did the job. Thanks Herman at this point. This picture shows the attic close to be finished. You can see the floor has 3 different levels. Level 1 was dictated by the height of the lower roof cross beams we couldn't replace. Level 2 was a result of keeping the old tack room accessible to install the future workshop. And level 3 was given by the existing height of the ceiling of the former servant apartment underneath on the second floor. So the particular characteristics of the attic greatly influenced layout and track planning for the B.B.M. It was tricky but very fun to search for solutions to the chimneys, the roof slope and the 3 floor level. I will cover this topic in one of the next videos. Now let's close the presentation with the floor plan and go upstairs to the attic to take a look at the part of the layout built so far. We are now in the studio on the second floor, and this is the steep wooden stair that connects the attic to the studio. Let's go up. Please keep in mind that everything is under construction. I do my best to keep the attic in a neat condition. But anyway, many tools and materials for building the layout are stored in the attic too. Let's look around, starting from the point we just came up. You can see the double track ramp crossing the staircase, and on top there is the Tempelhof Ausbesserungswerk, so the repair shop of Berlin Tempelhof, with a small engine servicing station. Now we pan over the tracks of Berlin Tempelhof. By pure chance there is a Prussian T11 switching. The drywall behind the scene is painted sky blue, but somehow the camera is showing it as a grey because probably of the overexposure. Now these are the chimneys. In the middle of the two there is a dummy rack that shows the position and the cross section of the future peninsula. This is the long straight ramp ahead of Basel Badischer Bahnhof. In the boxes underneath the ramp I store the different supplies. Now we could take a closer look to the Berlin Tempelhof station. The T11 is still switching. On the left side there is a dummy for the future cold storage with a few reefer cars in front of it. All the tracks have very specific functions. Track 1 and 2 are arrival and departure tracks for both freight and passenger trains. There will be later on a platform in between. Track 3 is the runaround track and the switching track. And track 4 is the unloading and loading track, so the team track for the station. This is the northern end of the station, with the future freight shed and the ramps. On the left there is a dummy for the future station building. You may have noticed that I painted the plywood underneath the tracks grey-brown ground color, so it looks more neat during construction. Now you see the layout room from the other end, and on the right side there is the small industrial district of Kolonnenstraße that was located north of Tempelhof, in between Tempelhof and Anhalter Bahnhof. On the lower deck you can see the temporary loop with some dummy structures just stored there, and it's basically the southern end of the current tracks. Now we are panning across the gable window. In the future there will be of course some kind of backdrop or cover on the window frame. On the lower deck there is the southern end of Basel Badischer Bahnhof, and on the upper deck you can see now the temporary loop with a small staging yard inside the loop, just to store some rolling stock. Now let's take a closer look to the lower deck with Basel Badischer Bahnhof. In the foreground you see the double track main line, and behind it the different sidings. For operations on the B.B.M., Basel Badischer Bahnhof is more kind of a staging yard than a full range station. I will come back to this topic in a future video. The station yard has a total of 6 full-size staging tracks plus 2 short sidings. Full size in this case means that they can hold up to 3 meter long trains. This is also the maximum regular train length on the B.B.M. The grades of the ramps are between 1.0 and 1.9%. This one is 1%. Now let's follow the trip of a freight train starting at the Basel Badischer Bahnhof to Tempelhof. The semaphores are models from Wiesmann. They have been dated back to the way they looked in the 30s, so all of them are elaborated. The train is now leaving Badischer Bahnhof and is climbing up the ramp. Now it's passing the industrial district of Kolonnenstraße at Berlin Tempelhof, and will be arriving at Anhalter Bahnhof, but it's not there yet, so it's going to run through the loop back, and now entering the Tempelhof station, running by Kolonnenstraße again, and now the train is arriving at track number 2. You might have noticed that there is no T11 switching. It's important to me that the locomotives are running smoothly. That's the reason why I put a lot of effort into the programming of the decoders, and almost all of them are equipped with a capacitor to overcome any kind of contact problems. Behind the caboose there are some cattle cars. To simulate the odor, I usually put a tiny bit of dung of my neighbor's cattle inside the car. No, I am joking, of course. The locomotive with the caboose is now uncoupled, and it will now advance to the engine facility so it can spot the caboose on a special track over there. On the top right you see the engine facility with the inspection pits and the future coal dock. In the foreground there are the tracks of the maintenance and repair shop of the Reichsbahn-Ausbesserungswerk Berlin-Tempelhof. Now the Prussian G10 is going to leave the caboose on that track. The way it can be picked up by another engine from the other end when leaving the Tempelhof station. After stopping behind the turnout, the locomotive will reverse and then run to the inspection pits to access then the turntable. The coal dock is of course a dummy from an old layout. There will be some more storage tracks connected at the turntable, but no roundhouse because there is no space for it. By the way, there will be a challenge to scenic the area between the ground and the roof slope. I have some ideas what to do there, but there are a lot of different scenes, and there is around 25 meters of that kind of edge around the layout. It takes about 1 real minute to turn the locomotive. We are now going to jump to the end of the rotation. The G10 will now head towards the exit of the engine facility and pick up the caboose left there before. Alright, we now have come to the end of this first layout visit. I hope you enjoyed the video. Just let me know, any commentary will be appreciated. There are still many aspects I would like to share with you in the future. So, thanks for watching and goodbye.